They're muted.
My talented friends.
Well, hey, Nick and Stacey Werner, how you doing tonight?
We're fantastic. How are you, my friend?
Good. I'm great. I'm drinking a little wine. How are you guys doing?
I'm great. I'm having a little cocktail. That's strong.
Lovely,
Wow.
lovely. Well, Nick and Stacey, we'll check in with you guys later, all right?
Great. Bye.
Well, howdy, folks. My name is Chris Gibson, and this is my Talented Friends Live, brought to you by Open Stage here at the top of the Giblanson Mansion in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. My name is Chris Gibson, but my friends call me Gibby, and I hope you'll call me Gibby as well. This is exciting. I'm so excited. I'm thrilled because I saw a dog today. I saw a black dachshund, very low to the ground, very long, and I mean black. I mean really just midnight black. It was something you don't see every day.
Wow.
And also the show is also very exciting. There's a lot of exciting things happening today. And I'm just so glad that we are live over the internet. We're here on Facebook and we're on the YouTubes. And we've got folks saying, hey, Matt Golden, it's nice to meet you too. I've heard a lot about Matt Golden. It's finally, after years, nice to actually meet you. Ladies and gentlemen who might be tuning in, this is my Talented Friends Live, and this is a show brought to you by Open Stage. Now, Open Stage is a theater company in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, that of course is currently shut down because of, well, you know why it's shut down, but we are doing what we can. We're reinventing ourselves. Hey, Patty, how you doing? We are creating a new format here, a variety show live over the interwebs. And this show is going to feature exactly what the title says, a lot of my talented friends. I have been doing theater all my life, producing theater, producing variety shows all my life. And I've traveled all over the place. I've met a lot of really, really talented folks. And a lot of these shows will feature my friends from all over the world. But I must say that my Talented Friends Live is actually a love letter to my friends here in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, particularly the ones who are not able to do the work that they normally do because of the situation that we're in. And I will be focusing on them a whole lot. And I love you all. And I look forward to getting back on the boards with you all again. Joining me today is my show producer and beautiful, beautiful woman. I'm not being aggressive sexually here in any way. She is actually my wife, so I'm allowed to say it. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the lovely, the talented, the so capable Rachel Landon. Rachel, hey, how you doing?
I'm great, Gibby. How are you?
I'm well. I've got a big box of wine. How about you? How you doing?
I also have a big box of wine. That's funny.
We're sharing that wine together. And so this is a fun technical thing for you to do.
Yeah. Very, very fun. I'm having a great time. This is my first time back behind the booth.
No, you know what? You're muted. I can see that you're muted. I see that nobody.
I'm on this.
You're on this camera. Oh, okay. See, this is what I meant to say, though. It's what I meant to say. This is our very first show ever on the internet. Not our first show ever. This is not our first rodeo, but it's our first internet show. And so it's going to be a technical fun house. And I couldn't think of anyone better to be at the control gear of a funhouse ride, like a carnival ride, like the kind of ride that you get on and you wonder, have you made a bad decision? I couldn't think of anybody better to run that carnival ride than my beautiful and talented wife, Rachel Landon. So, Rach, Thanks for being here.
Thanks. You're my favorite bad decision, Gibby.
Thank you. Thank you. That is all I've ever hoped to be. You may notice if you're watching on the Facebook or on the YouTubes that there's a chat function. And hey, I can see a lot of you have already figured out. Jenny Ray, hi. Abby Jean, Littman, what's up? Please say hi, check in. Now, I know that mostly our audience is going to just be from Harrisburg, but if you happen to be from someplace other than Harrisburg, please let us know. We would love to know if our reach is, hey, Eric, how you doing? Dan loves this carnival ride. Dave Richwine. Dave, what can I say about Dave Richwine? Just the words escape me, so I'm going to go with nothing. But Dave, we're excited to have you part of the show, and all of you guys. Hey, look, there is this chat function, right? So my question to you, our audience, is: we're all stuck at home. Are you having any fun? As one of my great idols, Mr. Tony Bennett, would say, are you having any fun? And if you are having fun, let us know. Tell us in the chat, or send us a pic of you having fun, or even a video. You can post it to our Facebook page. That's facebook.com OpenStageHBG. You can DM us there. You can go to our Insta at OpenStageHBG, or our Twitter at OpenStageHBG. Asheville. Whoa, Asheville. That must be my friend Marcy Applebaum. Austin, Texas. Oh, my old stomping ground. So good to see you, my friends. Back in Austin, we had a variety show called Industry Night. It was a whole lot of fun. So all my Industry Night peeps, if you're watching, any of you, God love you. So happy to see you. Who else is here? Ellis Sinclair, my good friend. How you doing? Jerry Stevens, making those smash burgers, which he's famous for. Hey, Rita, so great to see you guys. Alicia, we're just so happy. Keep shouting out to us. Also, if you like what you see tonight, we've got a heck of a show. If you like what you see, make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel and share this with your Facebook friends. Sharing is caring, so please do put that out. And we are going to be bringing a lot of guests onto our show tonight, and we are going to also put up pay points on this like little scroll that you see beneath me. Pay points on Venmo or PayPal or whatever it is. If you like what you see, tip these folks. You know, we're not able to do the kind of work that we're normally able to do when the world is normal. So these folks are donating their time and talents. And if you enjoy that, please help them out. Tip often and tip well. Just like voting. Vote often and vote as much as you can, I think. Mm-hmm. Boy, what a show do we have planned for you tonight. It's a crazy show. I mean, we've got guests from all over. Our special guest tonight, live from Brooklyn, New York, Isabella and her dinosaurs. So excited to have them here. They're going to come on with all kinds. I don't even know what they're going to do. We've not even spoken. Beforehand. So we just, that's good. And next up after them is going to be my therapist friend, Patrick Hughes. Patrick Hughes, one of the writers of the show, will be showing some of his therapeutic advice. You got a card for him or no? Just there it is. And after Patrick is done, or sometime later, we'll talk to my very enthusiastic friend, Liz Curtis. Liz wears a hell of a top hat. We'll visit with my very talented spouse, Rachel Landon. She's been to space as a cat. And then, of course, here and there, we're going to check back in with the most amazing musical co-hosts a host could hope for, the Werners, the Werner family band, Nick and Stacey Werner. They'll be with us. And we're going to have a game show. So those of you who are watching can actually participate in our game show. We are looking for 2 contestants. My friend Benny Benameda is going to help by sorting out. If you're interested in being a contestant in the show, I want you to on the chat say, I want to be a contestant. And Benny will probably pick the first 2. Or the 2 people that Benny likes the best. I don't know. But we need 2 contestants. Those contestants need to be at least 18 years old, and they need to be willing to be live on the internets, because we're going to bring you into the show. We're going to get you on your smartphone. We'll show you how to do it. Don't worry. We'll walk you all through it, and we'll bring you onto the show, and you'll be able to win prizes, legitimate, actual prizes that we are going to deliver to you. Rach, do you think it's time to get this thing started?
Yes.
I have gone on a lot.
Yes.
It's already been an hour, and I haven't even done anything.
Several hours, I think.
All right, folks. So the first guest that I'm going to bring on to the internet with me is a couple of folks who I have a long, long history with. Boy, do I know them well. I know them so well, and I've toured with them a lot. And I mean, we've toured to, gosh, all around the country.
All around the world.
All around the world. We've been to England and Scotland and Australia and Hawaii and Hoboken and Hong Kong and the African safari.
No.
Some of them were made up. Not all of them were made up. Anyway, what my point is that we have traveled. They have traveled. They have performed. I have performed. We have performed together. We have a history. And that's why I call them my friends. And so I would like to welcome live from Brooklyn, New York, my talented friends, Isabella and her dinosaur. We're going to try. Oh, I think, yeah, we're going to. Isabella and her dinosaur might have themselves muted. I see them. I see them. They're just reading. Oh, they're just reading. They're not even taking part in the show. Oh, her dinosaur. Yes. Could you? Yes. There you go. Oh, you guys are just taking in some books.
Yeah, we're just doing some light reading in this technical fun house.
Huh? Right? Oh my gosh. How are you guys doing?
We're having a great night.
So great. The greatest night.
Oh, yeah?
Never had a better night.
It's good.
And how are you doing?
Well, it's all downhill from here. I'm well. I'm
Is that
well.
good?
I'm so
Is that
well.
good? Is
I'm
that
drinking a
real
little
good?
bit of.
I'm never sure.
It depends on what you're trying to do. I'm drinking some boxed wine. How about you guys?
We're drinking some boxed bourbon.
Except it's in a bottle.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, boxed bourbon in a bottle. I love it. Guys, how long has it been? How long has it been? Because I haven't spoken to you. My producers and you and I have not spoken in how long? How long has it been?
At all. I mean, we tried to get a hold of you when we thought
I called so many times.
We should probably talk to him.
Yeah, we should talk to him.
Probably exchange some words before we do his show.
I was calling a different number.
But that lady was really nice.
She was great.
Yeah.
She had such stories, didn't she?
Such stories, didn't she?
I understand from my producer and wife, Rachel Landon, that you wanted to get a suggestion from the audience. What do you guys have planned for us tonight?
Well, if I may, do you want to go ahead or?
You may.
Oh, okay. What we're doing tonight, since we've seen your variety show so far, is we're going to put on our own variety show.
We're going to put on our own variety show.
We've seen your variety show, and it's so far not so much variety. A lot of you.
A lot of show.
A lot of show.
So we're going to add some variety.
Yeah.
Add some more show.
More show, more variety. And we're going to do our variety show in the middle of your variety show. And what we need to do that is a suggestion from our audience of anything at all.
Anything, a topic, if you will.
Okay, I see. So you're going to sort of do a better variety show within this variety show in case anybody watching this variety show is left wanting.
Well, let's be careful with qualifications.
Yes, much better. Way super better.
Best.
Okay. Fair. Well, I think, well, look, the suggestions are pouring in. They're pouring
in.
Rachel Landon, do you want to give us one of these suggestions?
Yes,
they're technically they're pouring in.
We're going to honor David Richwine. I'm going to take his suggestion. The suggestion is dump truck.
Oh,
Dump truck.
dump truck.
How you like that?
David Richwine.
Is that going to work out for you?
Dump trucks are so important.
It is. They do a lot of dumping.
Dumping and trucking.
Trucking is a lot of the other half of.
They're a very unique truck. Of all the trucks,
You know
the
what?
dump truck.
I don't even want to talk about it so much as I want to show you what a dump truck inspires.
I'm gonna dump
Yes.
all over you.
A truck full of things.
Yes, yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Thank you for that, David Richwine.
Okay, so you don't. He's not that great. Don't thank him too much.
I think
he's a
the
professional
best.
writer, and the best he could come up with dump truck. Okay, fair. You haven't met him, but that's fair. So I think it would be really fun if you guys were, and I if you're okay with this, to share with the audience that special story of how we met.
Oh boy. Origin stories.
Origin
Yeah.
stories
Stories of
of origins.
It's kind of like it's a journey.
It's a journey
that there was a lot of, well, it's funny.
You remember?
The time.
Do you remember?
And then there was that.
Uh-oh.
I don't think we can say that on air.
Yikes.
Oh, there'll never be another
No.
time.
Well, that's very true, and I think it's satisfying. Isabella and her dinosaur. I'd like to bring it down for a quick second if I can.
You
I mean, just
can.
bring it down.
You're very good at that.
Yeah, you really do.
Way down.
Uh-huh.
I'm famous for it. Will you, or let me put it this way, could you
Yes.
describe our friendship using only words?
That's confusing.
Ooh.
I mean, perfect.
You are
only words.
here.
All right.
You are here.
Sloppy.
You have the dictionary here,
Oh,
dinosaur.
right. No, yeah.
Let's see. Let's just flip to any word.
Sloppy is a word.
Oh, okay. Then we'll go with
What's this one?
polemic.
Anybody out there know what polemic
An
is?
aggressive attack on or refutation of the opinions or principles of another.
That's perfect!
Yeah.
How could it be so
No,
perfect?
Yeah.
The world must
That
must have a plan for us. I'm sorry. Did meeting Gibby involve a Patty wants to
Did
know.
meeting Gibby involve a dump truck? Well, Gibby, he got a booty like a dump truck. Does that?
That's her dinosaur. That's
Oh, right.
It's PG-13. This is a
It's
PG-13 show.
I'll change that whole phrase. Gibby got a fun like a dump truck.
So yes.
no, I think that's fine. I think that's
Yes,
fine
I think-
and accurate. I do have dumps like a truck. I do have dumps like a truck. I'm not afraid to say it. How did you two meet? I don't know that I know this answer. How did you two meet each other?
It was on the side of the road in Paris, and yeah, I was working selling ice cream in an ice cream truck that had a broken speaker that was kind of wonky and scary. So not a lot of kids wanted to come up and get ice cream from me, but this guy did.
But I'm not a kid. I'm a dinosaur.
He is.
The
He's
last-
actually
The last
the
dinosaur.
opposite of kids.
Yeah.
The oldest.
I'm the
creature
only dinosaur
that roams
left.
the earth. He feels a
And
little
I
lonely.
love
and so
ice
when he
cream.
came over and he got the ice cream
And
from
I
me,
hate
we
the
made
music of
really
ice cream
good
trucks.
friends, and I hate
So the
music
speaker
of
was
ice
broken,
cream
and I
trucks.
was like,
But I gave him
yes.
ice cream anyway.
I
and
love
so-
ice cream, but I hate ice cream
and then we
music.
were
I love ice
basically-
cream,
and
but
then
I
we
hate
wrote
ice
a
cream
new song
music.
for the ice cream truck.
I have
that we
one
took
more
around
question
Chester.
for you, Isabella and her dinosaur. I just have one more question.
Just one more.
I just because the gears have been going. Yeah, just one more. The gears have been going and,
Vroom,
and,
vroom.
and turning and cogs are falling into place. And I just have this one question. Being that this is the inaugural variety show of my Talented Friends Live, and that I invited you to be my first guests on this live show. Why would you decide to then create a competing variety show within my variety show? And I would like to also add a follow-up. Are we not, in fact, friends?
Well,
these Zoom calls are so
flattery is
good not coming in. Zoom, you can't hear you.
What?
Bad speaker.
Okay. Well, thanks, Isabella and her dinosaur. You know what? We're going to see you guys later in the show. So you guys get prepped up, and we'll check back in with you. Yeah, and get to that Stephen King book. That's a page turner. I've heard they made a movie out of it. All right, so that's Isabella and her dinosaur, and it's not odd or confusing or insulting that they would think that they would do a better variety show. I mean, we've put a lot of preparation into this. We put literally a week, at least a week and a half. Well, we'll find out. Welcome, latecomers. If you're just joining us, this is my Talented Friends Live, coming to you live from the Giblanson Mansion here in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. We are so excited to have you here. It's a variety show. There's all kinds of guests. There's a chat function, so please do chat with us. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel if you want to do so, and share the video with all of your friends. We would appreciate that. Pardon me. Coming up next is Mr. Patrick Hughes, who is a good friend of mine, but specifically, he's my therapist friend. We were going to have some music for you.
Oh.
Rachel's going to get that music. Hold on, Patrick. Here it comes. Okay, that's enough of that. Cut it. Big fan of live. Big fan of live, Patrick. The band Live from Hershey, Pennsylvania.
York. I think York, PA.
York, I'm their biggest fan. I mean, I'm literally their biggest fan. Didn't know they were from York. Thought they were from Hershey. Hey, Patrick.
Hey, Gibby.
How are you, my friend?
I'm doing well. Good to see you.
It's good to see you. And I just want to point out before this goes further, because we a lot of what we do on this show are jokes, right? But this segment is not a joke, because you while you are one of the very talented and capable and prolific writers for my Talented Friends Live, you are also concurrently a actual therapist, a real therapist, right?
Yeah, I'm a licensed professional counselor here in Pennsylvania, and I'm licensed in Massachusetts. I teach psychology and drama therapy techniques, and so I'm a real life therapist.
And this segment is about your your day job, as it were. And I want to let the audience know that if you, as you're listening to what Patrick offers us tonight, Bree says hi.
Hi, Bree.
That if you have a question for Patrick, please put it in the chat, and we'll try to answer it at the end. But Patrick, what specifically are you delving into this evening?
Well, I'm going to talk a little bit about models to approach dealing with strong emotions. In the days of COVID, it can be possible that we are feeling strong emotions for the people that are close to us. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about what we do with very strong emotions when we have them, because there can be massive tension and difficulties. So there are two primary ways that instinctually we deal with strong emotions. This is sort of boils down to that fight or flight reaction. We either want to attack something or run from it. And so let's talk a little bit about what that is. One word to describe that desire to fight is aggression. And what is aggression? Well, it's sort of like getting mad, wanting to destroy things, destroy the things around us. And so as we are dealing with those massive, annoyed, horrible feelings inside, it can feel really good and great to just sort of rip things apart. And that's aggression. So what's good about aggression? Well, it feels great, as I said. It gets the emotions out. It can feel as if you're actually doing something justified. You have this righteousness about you, and it can feel phenomenal. But what are the negative things about being aggressive? Well, it's unpredictable. It can lead to further aggression in others. You know, if you have somebody being aggressive at you, it may want you to be aggressive in return. So it can spiral out of control and could lead to a lot of unintended consequences. And so even though it feels fantastic to do, we're also out of control with it sometimes, and it can lead to stuff that we didn't want, and can lead to one thing after another. Another reaction is that flight, which we can call passivity. So what's passivity? Well, it's doing nothing. It's like surrendering and having nothing to do in reaction to something. You put your emotions down or aside. What's good about it? Well, it's peaceful, it's calm, it doesn't make situations worse. It literally just sort of, you say yes to the worst things that are happening, and you just put those emotions aside. And you're not going to make anything really bad by doing nothing, unless the situation itself is really bad and you're letting it happen. But at least you're not throwing stuff in that can lead to some unintended consequences. The negative aspects of it are the emotions can go nowhere. It doesn't change bad situations. And when we emotions stay inside, they have a tendency of affecting us, you know, being bottled up and coming up at unusual situations, and can hurt people that we care about. So these are the natural ways of sort of dealing with strong emotional stimulus internally. So we can choose to do something else with these emotions. So instead of this fight or flight, we as intellectual human beings can do a certain other thing, which we call assertiveness. And that's stating what's important to you within the context of what's considered reasonable. What's great about assertiveness is you do something with those emotions. They don't just squeeze you inside and make you feel awful. It can lead to change. It could lead to an emotional response by who we're talking to, but at the same time, we're not just being a doormat. We're giving a chance to do something about it. The bad stuff is that it's not as satisfying as it would be to be really aggressive. You wouldn't be able to get it all out there, and it may not completely fix the problem. And it also takes a lot of energy to bring your forebrain into a situation when you're feeling emotional. But it certainly is better than aggression, and it certainly is better than passivity. So that's sort of that wise mind way of approaching something thoughtfully. So when we are assertive, we want to make sure that we have other places to put our emotions, because it's not going to be complete. We want to make sure we do things like run, create art, do stuff that allows us to put the other emotions out there, but at least we do it. Now, I'd recommend being assertive with people that we're close to. You don't want to do it with something that you feel upset with, like happens on a bus or something like that. Is that really important to address? But this could be something really good to do with somebody that you're romantically involved with or that you live with. But becoming assertive is a process. Instinctual responses never go away. We always feel that desire to run away or fight in stressful situations. And that's okay. We can't be any more than we are, but this is another way of dealing with strong emotions when you have them. And so that's a sort of a model of dealing with those strong emotions. And Gibby, you can come back now if you'd like.
Hey, buddy, that's just fantastic information. I mean, here we are all stuck at home, and if we're fortunate, we're stuck with our significant people, right? Our family members, our significant others, and there's good in that, and there's challenges in that, and I think that it's really, really valuable that you acknowledge that there's good and bad for every way you choose to respond.
Right.
And I also really particularly thought that the idea of being assertive, which obviously, you know, sort of the intellectual obvious answer as well, be assertive. But I like that you brought to attention the fact that there is a negative to assertiveness. That what do you do with that energy, and how do you work it out? So this is very valuable, very practical information, and I sincerely appreciate it, my friend.
Absolutely.
Let's see. Did we have any any questions from the audience? Doesn't look like we had any specific questions from the audience. I had a few people. Chris Baldridge wanted to say hi to you. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, absolutely. The idea of drama therapy is in using only theater tools in order to deal with stuff. We know as performers that theater is healing. And so the idea of using theater tools in therapy is a transformative way of rather than just talking about depression, for example, let's put depression in the chair, or act as if something is happening in order to build scaffolding in order to become a greater expert on something. So in many ways, theater to me is an incredibly healing place. And the idea of drama therapy is to be a facilitator for individuals that want to be healthier people. It's not necessarily, I don't do it with everybody, but it's certainly a wonderful technique to help people in times of change.
Yeah, you know, being a theatrician myself, Patrick, I absolutely understand the healing nature of being on stage, the adrenaline and the community and all of that. But Patty brings up a really good point, because I speak out of a sense of privilege that I'm stuck with the most amazing person in the world and not stuck at all.
Yeah.
But Patty brings it up to say that what if we're not fortunate to be stuck with someone?
Yeah, no, that is a great question. I think isolation is one of the greatest challenges of this COVID time, and we're going to be dealing with the consequences of that for a long time. But in the immediacy, if somebody is feeling alone or don't have somebody to be with, those strong emotions still can be happening. They can be directed towards yourself, at the world, or even at your food that you're trying to cook. The point is that in a time of unpredictable stuff that's happening as it is now, we're going to have strong emotions. And as with any other type when we have those emotions, we want to find ways of doing stuff with them. We can't eliminate emotion reaction from our lives, but what we can do is transform it. And so the idea is embrace things like exercise and creativity and reaching out to other people that may not be at home, but we've had those important connections with. This is a time to maybe just have a FaceTime call with somebody, or do something that is meaningful for you personally. Creating a garden is a great idea. Getting outside, doing stuff with dirt, that kind of things can be, but it's going to be different for everybody individually. But isolation is a real tough thing, and it is something that is affecting a lot of people right now.
Absolutely.
And it's something we all have to deal with.
I'm going to take one more question from our audience, from Karen Rook. Any tips to deal with the frustrations of teleworking? Because God knows there are plenty of frustrations there.
There's a lot of great research going on right now about why it's so particularly frustrating. And one of the main ideas is there's so many different elements that we're using to keep focused. We don't know if there's going to be technical issues at any moment. We don't know if the person themselves is really engaging with what's happening. We can't ever escape. When we're online, and there's so many micro gestures and expressions that we're not picking up on, and it can feel incredibly draining. I think one of the ways of doing this is people are trying to pretend this is just normal. I can use my time the same way as I did before, but you have to honor what you're feeling internally and make room and space for yourself, and make sure the people that you're working with and above and beyond have a chance to deal with those emotions in a realistic, supportive, and transparent way. This is not a normal time we're living in, and we have to make sure that there is allowances for what we need in order to get through it.
Patrick, this is just incredible. Where can folks learn more about you and the type of therapy that you administer?
Well, you can go to patrickhughes.com, and right now that just goes to my Psychology Today profile. But you can connect with me then or learn more about what I do. I just want to say, too, that if somebody is being affected by this disaster specifically, there's a disaster distress hotline out there. You can dial 1-800-985-5990. And as always, you can always dial 911 if you're in real acute distress. But don't hesitate to reach out to me if you want to connect. And I really encourage people. People aren't alone. We live in a society, and there are places and ways of getting support. So I encourage everyone to do what they need to do for themselves to be able to feel comfortable.
Patrick, thank you so much. This is like my dream come true, that we have a variety show that's funny and goofy, but also has some practical, workable useful knowledge that we impart to folks, and I can't do that because I am useless.
Completely,
So
yeah.
I'm really, yeah. I mean, that's clear. But I'm so glad to have you. And hey, you're coming back, right? You're going to be one of our celebrity panelists on the Nat show later on.
Yeah, sounds good. I'll see you then, Gibby.
We'll see you, buddy. Wow. And as Patrick is played off as if it were an awards show ceremony where he had gone too long, I would like to encourage you that if you would like to tip him, just the transitions they're harsh, like COVID-19. It's harsh and sharp. I like it. We're living in the moment. You're welcome. Please, if you like what Patrick brought to the show tonight, please tip him. Go to Venmo at Patrick-Hughes LPC. Read it. Don't listen to me. I've got a speech impediment. This is now that hey, look, we've started talking about the COVID-19, right? The elephant in the room, as it were. And so I think it's time for a public service announcement. Rachel, do you agree that this is the appropriate time? Why don't you go ahead and roll this tape, Rach? And she just walks off into the distance. Wow, that was just a brilliant and useful piece of film. That particular sketch was written by Jenny Adams. It was directed by Jerry Stevens, and it starred the incredible Aubrey Adams. So if you would like to tip that piece of entertainment that you just enjoyed, I would encourage you to go to the Venmo that is about to crawl across the bottom of your screen. We've got it somewhere, don't we? We'll bring it up later. It's Jenny Adams' Venmo, which this is one of those technical things. Yep. It's coming up. It's here. We did it. We put the work in. We did put the work in. There it is. Venmo at Jenny-Adams-5. Yep. I maybe should stop drinking. Okay, good. So it's useful information. It's good advice in these trying times. The waves and the handstands. We're going to move on. We're going to move forward. And we're going to welcome back my guests from Brooklyn, New York, live, I might add, live from Brooklyn, New York, doing their own variety show within my variety show, Isabella and her dinosaur.
Some dirt and a little luck. You will soon be blessed by the sweetest truck of dump. It's a dump truck. I have always loved and will always be loyal to the kind of truck that's filled up with soil. It's a dump. It's a dump truck. Dump trucks are really cool.
Dump trucks are really cool.
Dump trucks don't play no fools.
Dump trucks don't play no
Dumping in the day and dumping in the night. There's nothing in the world like a dump that feels right. It's a dump from my dump truck. Dump trucks are really cool.
that dump trucks are so really cool. They're so cool. They're so cool. They're so cool.
Dump trucks are like a truck with a little pool in the back. Yeah.
Dump trucks are like a truck with a pool in the back. That's that water you can go swimming in.
Go swimming in a dump truck. Go swimming in a dump truck. It doesn't matter what you do anymore. Go swimming in a dump truck. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, I thought that the whole idea was that they were going to improvise a song, and clearly that was a song that they had worked on for months in advance.
Months in advance. David Richwine is clearly a plant.
David Richwine is clearly a plant. So, I mean, yes, and kudos and talented. Wow, good variety show that created itself. My talented friends, Isabella and her dinosaur, live from Brooklyn with their song Dump Truck. If you enjoyed them, we're going to definitely hear more from Isabella and her dinosaur as the show goes on. But if you enjoyed what you saw, please tip them. Go to Venmo and tip at Zachmuhn, ZACHMUHN. And if you want to check out more from Isabella and her dinosaur, I recommend that you do. I would say go to the Insta, like the kids say, right? The kids say Insta. Instagram is an app on my phone, and they say that you should go to at Isabella and her dinosaur on the Insta. And now a word from our producing executive director, artistic director, producing director, artistic, Stuart Landon.
Hi, I'm Stuart Landon, producing artistic director at Open Stage, and I wanted to give y'all an update. Our staff and board of directors are working hard to figure out what's next. At this point, we don't know when we'll be able to reopen for in-person shows, of course. All of the plans we have, though, are flexible, allowing us to be nimble as we all get more information about this health crisis. We are planning for and making investments in all productions being virtual, allowing patrons to enjoy a full season of top-notch live productions from their homes. We will also be poised to welcome a small, live audience into our facility if and when we deem it appropriate to invite them to 25 North Court Street, and I look forward to that day. And when our very capable Governor and Secretary of Health decide to shift our area to green, allowing our industry to reopen our doors, in a no doubt adjusted way, we will be ready to have a small audience if we decide that to be the responsible choice at the time. We're going to need our community to pivot with us, though, and embrace these new explorations of live performance and buy into the magic of live theater through their screens until we can all be together again safely. So, join us for shows like this, along with recordings and live streams of theatrical experiences. Buy a virtual ticket and share on Facebook and subscribe on YouTube. You are all our greatest ambassadors. Thank you so much for your support, and enjoy the show.
All right. So I also want to point out that Open Stage is also offers a theatrical school, the Alsadek Theater School Online. And I just want to talk a little bit about that because some of you may have if you're in the local area, if you're in the Harrisburg area or the Tri-City area in York and Lancaster and then the surrounding regions, you might want to bring your little children to our online theater school. Professionals from Open Stage and the Harrisburg community will team up to bring you an exciting and unique learning experience for young artists. Using a combination of live stream courses and pre-recorded classes, students will be able to explore different facets of theater from the comfort and the safety of their home. Some classes included are Introduction to Acting, Musical Theater Performance, Playwriting, and Production Design. Students will also get the chance to work one-on-one with one of our professional staff members in the theatrical area of their choice. This is a 12-week program designed for students to have the flexibility to learn at their own pace. The digital school opens on June 1st with rolling enrollments, and enrollment costs $200. Pretty good deal. For more information, email Benny at openstagehbg.com. That's Benny Benameda. Well, look who it is. It's my good friend, Mr. Biggs. He does not care about the show. He just wants to play ball. Trust me on that. All right. So welcome. If you've just joined our live stream, this is My Talented Friends Live. And we're a live variety show. We've got a lot of stuff going on. I believe we have our contestants for our game show. Is that correct?
Yes.
So you don't have to worry about that. Our contestants have been secured. I would like to take a moment because we are a not-for-profit organization. We only exist because of the support of our patrons and our sponsors and some grants and those types of things. But I've got to acknowledge and thank our major sponsors. Our major funders are the Schubert Foundation, the Foundation for Enhancing Communities, and the Pennsylvania Council on the Arts. But I'd also like to give a big thank. Yep. I'd like to give a big thank to the supporters who have gone above and beyond over the past year. Folks like Nicholas Hughes, the incredible Nicholas Hughes. If you've seen A Christmas Carol at Open Stage, you've seen Nicholas Hughes. I mean, he's been doing it for 20 years. We've been doing it for 20 years. He's been our Scrooge for 20 years. Where else does that happen? Kristen Schofield, Karen and Ken Lehman, Margaret Hathaway, Chris Baldridge, and David Skirpon. Thank you. Thank you for everything that you do for Open Stage. We are now going to take a little trip to our musical friends, and we're going to hear a song from the Werners.
Hi.
There it is. Did you hear me? Did you hear me?
No, I didn't hear that at all.
Live. It's like live TV. Hey, Stacey and Nick, how you guys doing?
We're fantastic. How are you?
I couldn't be happier. This is just bonkers. This is so much fun. I hope you guys are having fun.
I am. I just want to shout out, Gibby. You're doing an amazing job hosting this show. Everyone, give us some clap emojis in the live comments. Let's get a round of applause going for our baby boy over here.
Well, I mean, a few, but not a lot. Just a few. Would be cool. Well, you guys are two of my favorite people on this planet. I'm curious, what are you guys going to be singing for us tonight?
I am singing a song that was actually handed to me by Open Stage. I'm going to be singing Back to Before from Ragtime. I played Mother in last spring's production of Ragtime. And this song specifically I only now sing it for financial gain. So Chris Baldridge, you know what to do. There was a time our happiness seemed never ending. I was so sure that where we were headed was right. Life was a road so certain and straight and unbending. Our little road with never a crossroad in sight. Back in the days when we spoke in civilized voices, women in white and sturdy young men at the oar. Back in the days when I let you make all my choices. We can never go back to before. There was a time my feet were so solidly planted. You would sail away while I turned my back to the sea. I was content, a princess asleep and enchanted. If I had dreams, then I let you dream them for me. Back in the days when everything seemed so much clearer, women in white who knew what their lives had in store. Where are they now, those women who stared from the mirror? We can never go back to before. There are people out there unafraid of revealing that they might have a feeling, or they might have been wrong. There are people out there unafraid to feel sorrow, unafraid of tomorrow, unafraid to be weak, unafraid to be strong. If there was a time when you were the person in motion, I was your wife, it never occurred to want more. You were my sky, my moon and my stars, and my ocean. We can never go back to before. We can never go back to That's the end of the song.
Wow.
Applause. I
Oh
love you
my,
too, Chris. I love you so
my
much, baby
God.
boy.
Stacey, God, what a beautiful song. Nick, thank you so much.
Oh,
So beautiful. You know, it's interesting because I love Ragtime, and our production of Ragtime was so awesome. And yet listening to that song now, it has a different sort of register. It almost sort of has a different, or maybe not a different meaning. Maybe it is the meaning of the song. What made you pick this, Stace?
Honestly, I mean, I've been doing a lot of art with Open Stage recently that has had completely different meanings when I started the project than when I ended the project. So this song specifically, it almost helped me bone up to the idea of the change that we've all been going through lately. And I really think that it's given me a bit of armor to help me through these hard times, because everyone's having a hard time right now, man. You know, it's a bummer out there.
Well,
But
and
yeah.
not only that, but things are, is whether you are a person who welcomes change or doesn't, things are changing. And the thing that I think in the theatrical world that we're realizing is that there is not a time that's where it's going to go back to the way it was.
Exactly.
And you know, we have a new situation that we have to deal with. And so I really thank you for bringing this song to this show, because it was really, really beautiful.
I thank you and everyone at Open Stage for allowing me to sing that song on the stage and through this television show. It was our absolute pleasure.
Thanks for having us.
Well, we're thrilled. We're just waiting for the day that Stacey comes out of her shell.
Any day now. Shut up, Rachel. Shut up.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's the Werners. If you want to, if you enjoyed what you saw, and if you didn't, I don't know what kind of a person you are, please tip them. Tip the Werners by going to Venmo and tipping at n-werner-86. We have been talking about COVID-19. I mean, it's not a secret.
What?
It's not a secret, Rachel. I won't pretend it is. It's hard. It's tough on the arts specifically. I mean, Open Stage can't do our shows on the stage like we, you know, Gambit and Theater Harrisburg and Broadway and all of the companies are shut down. I mean, even vaudeville has felt the hit.
What?
Oh, vaudeville, you know, the earliest American art form of theater, still going strong. People don't understand that, but they forget, of course, Smith and Jones. Oh, Smith and Jones, they're still around. Great vaudevillians who have been doing it and have never given up, have never stopped. They're just powerhouses. They're American treasures, and they are rolling with the punches and trying to adapt to this new reality like we are. Rach, they're trying to get on Zoom. Why don't you go ahead and show the folks what I'm talking about?
Am I muted? Is it on? Am I muted? Can you hear me? Hello?
Hello?
What? Oh, well, hello there, Mr. Smith.
Mr. Jones.
Oh, well, I do just fine, Mr. Smith. Thank you for asking. Say, Mr. Smith,
Yes, Mr. Jones?
tell me, how do you catch a squirrel?
Well, I don't know, Mr. Jones. How do you catch a squirrel?
Well, you climb a tree and act like a nut.
Oh, Mr. Jones, that one's a doozy. Say, Mr. Jones,
Yes, Mr. Smith.
did you hear about those new corduroy pillows?
Why, no, Mr. Smith. I can't say I have.
Well, they're making headlines everywhere.
Ah, Mr. Smith, I believe they are. I believe they are. Oh, Mr. Smith,
Yes, Mr. Jones?
would you like to hear a pizza joke?
Why, yes, I would, Mr. Jones. I love a good pizza joke.
Oh, never mind. It's too cheesy.
Well, okay then. Say, Mr. Jones,
Yes, Mr. Smith?
are you aware of how fat your mother is?
What the hell did you just say? You son of a bitch?
Well, Mr. Jones, I merely asked as the premise of a harmless little joke if you are aware of how large your mother is.
I see. Well, let me tell you something, Mr. Smith. My dear mother, Mary Louise Jones, who was widowed with 4 children by the age of 25. She lost the love of her life while he was off defending our great country in the war.
What would that be, Mr. Jones?
You shut that damn mouth and let me finish! My poor mother worked her fingers to the bone to make ends meet for her children. She worked for 20 years on her hands and knees, cleaning the dirt down on old McMahon McNulty's farm. Oh, it made no sense cleaning the dirt, but old man McNulty insisted that his farm would have the cleanest dirt in the tri-state area. Then, in the evening, my mother would go downtown to her second job, scraping chewing gum off the shoes of businessmen on their way home from work. Often, they'd tip her an extra nickel if she'd then eat the gum for their own amusement. It was unsanitary, and it was demeaning. So please, by all means, Mr. Smith, tell me the punchline to your wonderful little joke. How fat is my mother?
Hi. She's so fat that
I didn't quite hear you, Mr. Smith. Please repeat your punchline and speak up.
I'd rather not, Mr. Jones.
Do it!
She's so fat. She needs to take 2 trips to Hull S.
I do declare, Mr. Smith, that's a real knockout. You got me there, old chum.
Why, thank you, Mr. Jones. Happy to oblige.
Well, that's all for us tonight, folks. I'm Mr. Jones.
And I'm Mr. Smith. And we're...
And we are ready.
It's amazing how the form transfers, from one to another. It's like, you'd think that vaudeville wouldn't live on the internet, and yet they're American treasures. Smith and Jones. That sketch, ladies and gentlemen, was written by my cousin, Jason Fickley, out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So if you like that, Jason would like you to tip open stage. If you don't like that and you have some complaints, I am willing to give you his personal cell phone number and home address. Just go ahead and DM me. Very good. I'd like to also talk about our sponsors again. Of course, our major sponsors are the Schubert Foundation, the Foundation for Enhancing Communities, and the Pennsylvania Council on the Arts. But I'd also like to give a big thank to these other supporters. It's a big thank is what I'm giving. Don't laugh. It's a big thank, and it's a real thank to these supporters who have gone above and beyond over the past year. I'm talking about people like John and Abby Tierney. I mean, 2 people who I just absolutely love. Whatever support they give to this theater and to this community, they're just good people. Love you, John. Love you, Abby. Gary and Sylvie St. Hilaire, Miles Babin, the Klein Foundation, the Pollock Foundation. There's so many more, and we're going to talk about them later. But we couldn't do it without these sponsors. I think it's time to go back to Brooklyn. What do you think, Rach?
Oh, yes.
Let's go back and check out our special guests for the evening, live from Brooklyn, New York, Isabella and her dinosaur.
Chris Libson, and I'd like to take this moment to welcome you to the Isabella and her dinosaur variety show. I have met this next guest 100 times. We have traveled the world together. We have built monuments and buildings and all sorts of things all over the world. And I have acted, and they have acted, and I have acted, and we have done so much together. I'd like to welcome, please, right now, my very talented friend, Frank Chuck. Woo! Frank Chuck, welcome to the show.
Hello.
Hi, Frank Chuck.
Hey, Tris.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Oh,
today.
no, it's my pleasure.
And
Thanks
you-
for having me.
Oh, of course, and you look very handsome.
Oh,
today,
thank you.
Frank.
Thank you.
Frank, now I just have a few questions for you if we could just share with the audience.
Yeah, hit me.
How long has it been since we have talked?
Well, Tris, we just did our world tour. People who love dump trucks. I guess I should clarify. My name is Frank Truck. I drive a dump truck. It's a happy coincidence, but my name is Frank Truck.
Oh, it's like Alicia Keys. She plays the piano, and her last name is Keys. Her given
that's
last
right.
name. The name she was born with was Keys.
Yes.
And she plays the piano just like
Yes.
you. You were destined to drive a
I
drum
was,
truck.
yes. It's a proud destiny. It's a proud destiny. I'm not
No
ashamed
joke
of
about
that.
Oh, no. A dump truck, very important.
Thank you.
Beautiful as well.
Thank you.
So how long has it been since we talked, did you say?
I would say it's been 2 weeks.
Okay. Wow, 2 weeks has been a long time, Frank. A lot can happen in 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's been about that long, yeah.
Oh, goodness. Well, what have you done in those last 2 weeks? Have you done anything special?
Well, I counted my bottles in my bottle collection. I collect a lot of bottles because dump trucks, right?
Have
Sometimes
you
we
ever
catch
found
bottles.
something really unique and special in your dump trucking?
Let me think. Unique, special. One time I found another dump truck.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Dump truck inception.
Yeah.
That's wild. Okay. Now, Frank Truck, could you tell the folks how we met?
Oh yeah, absolutely. We met because wow, I can't believe I'm going to do this right now.
Okay.
Tris, you need to know something important.
Okay.
I took a little test over the weekend.
Okay.
Here it is. For those of you at home, this is a 23andMe type test.
Okay.
By which I mean it's that test.
Okay.
Tris, it turns out we share a grandmother.
Is this a joke show?
It's not a joke
Are
show.
you telling me jokes, Frank Truck?
This is not a joke. Nothing about what's happened in the last few months is a joke.
Frank Truck, come on now. You're pulling my chain.
No chains.
Oh,
I drive a truck.
Oh.
Oh,
Okay.
there's a dog.
There's a dog in here.
There's
Where
a
did
dog.
the dog come from? Frank, is that your dog? I told you no dogs.
No,
Yeah.
that's not my dog. This is your studio.
Oh, that's true. That must be my dog then. All right. Frank, listen, I want to get back to that thing you just brought up. But before I do, I'd like you to, if you could just describe our friendship in 3 words, please.
Sure. Friendly.
Okay.
Dump truck.
That's 3. All right, great. Friendly dump truck. Now, when did you take this test and what's the accuracy of it? And what does it say about us?
110% accuracy. That's a
Not
thing.
a real number.
That's a real thing.
Mhm.
Yeah. And to prove it, here's our grandmother.
Bobby!
That's right. It's our booby. She
Bobby.
doesn't speak, but there she is.
Oh my goodness, you saw it here, folks, live on the television. Reunited, and it feels so good. Wait, how are we related?
I think like cousins. I don't know.
Cousins?
Yeah, something like that.
So we can kiss?
Look, let's throw it to Chris.
All right.
Well, as I think Hani Sindelar, Sindelar. I'm broken now. Hani pointed it out. This is a much better variety show than what I prepared for you. And so thanks, Isabella and her dinosaur, for doing a better job at my job than I'm capable of doing. And thank you, Rufus, the dog, and the grandmother puppet for showing up. It's just wise words, and we all appreciate them. If you like what you saw from Isabella and her dinosaur, I would recommend that you tip them by going to Venmo and using their handle at Zach Moon. I don't even know what that means, why they chose that handle, but ZACHMUHN, or go to their Insta at Isabella and her dinosaur. At Isabella and her dinosaur. It's just that simple. I made it harder than it needed to be.
As usual.
Now we're going to go back to the variety portion of the show with my talented spouse.
When you walk through a storm, hold your head up high, and don't be afraid of the dark. At the end of the storm, there's a golden sky and the sweet silver song of the lark. Walk on through the wind, walk on through the rain, though your dreams be tossed and blown. Walk on, with hope in your heart, and you'll never walk alone. You'll never walk alone.
That's my talented spouse, Miss Rachel Landon, ladies and gentlemen, accompanied by the incredible Nick Werner. And thank you for that song, my love. That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Let me talk a little bit more about our sponsors. Again, we're going to thank our major sponsors, the Schubert Foundation, the Foundation for Enhancing Communities, and the Pennsylvania Council for the Arts. But also, I want to recognize Fred and Marianne Fisher, Lois Lerman, Grass Foundation, Richard and Alice Angino, the Angino family, Bill and Beverly Lair, and the AFR Foundation. We could not exist without our sponsors and our supporters. And you can be sponsors and supporters too by going to openstagehbg.com and becoming subscribers to our new season. Let's see here. I think it's time to visit with my enthusiastic friend, Miss Liz Curtis. What do you think, Rach?
I love that idea.
Yes. Hey, Liz. Liz, you've got yourself muted, my friend.
Just don't cry. Just don't cry. Oh, hi, Gibby. Hi. I'm sorry. I'm so used to just talking to myself.
That's okay. That's okay. And Rachel makes us all want to cry when she sings. Wasn't that beautiful?
I forgot what beauty was. Is it thing? Of course it is.
Yes. And she's reminded us of what it is. Liz, you've got a top hat. You've got a homemade set piece. I want to know what you're enthusiastic about tonight.
Well, Gibby, what's not to be excited about? I know. Everything. Most things, really. Pretty much everything. But here is a life hack from yours truly. Getting excited about little things is a tried and true way to avoid and ignore your feelings. And isn't that what's most important right now? Right, Patrick Hughes? For example, right now, you're probably wondering, what day is it? I've wondered that most days. But you don't have to worry, because the answer to that question is, whether you like it or not, a holiday. And I'm here to help you celebrate all those obscure little holidays, because who gives a crap what day of the week it is anymore. Weekdays, weekends, it's all arbitrary and time is meaningless. So let's celebrate, let's dig in, see what I did there? It's World Plant a Vegetable Day. So we're gonna explore what it's like to plant a vegetable today. Now, I know you get it. Vegetables are healthy and that's why we should eat them. And right now, planting vegetables is more important than perhaps ever before because who knows when our food supply will run out. Who knows? And it's not terribly hard, but we'll be able to figure it out together. Thanks to my handy vegetable planting kit. I've been assured that it'll work for me because as you can see, I don't have green thumbs. And I think you kind of know the parts. I'm not worried. There will be dirt. I'm not worried because if you're not getting dirty, are you really ignoring your feelings? I don't think so. So let's see what we have. A lot of tape, that's for starters. Some different, just a lot of wrapping in there. So, wow, the recipe for planting a plant starts with a pot. Sorry, it's not the good kind, but this one is nice, it'll work. So we have our pot, and the next step, if I look at these instructions here, it looks like the next step is dirt. Beautiful. I love dirt. Now it says here, this dirt was actually sourced from Midtown Harrisburg, a lovely place to live. It's where I live. Hey, if you're out and about, you see me on a walk, I will ignore you. I've made a game out of going outdoors where I pretend that I'm in a video game and I get points if I avoid people and whatnot. But if you catch me, maybe wave at me. Please, promise me though, you won't interrupt me if I'm taking a picture of a dead bird. Which, by the way, I totally was doing before American Beauty. So, just so you know. It's just a nice reminder that, like this dirt. Of dirt we came, and to dirt we will return. To paraphrase the Decemberists, rocks in a box. Now that we have our dirt in a pot, look at this, we're off to a great start. What we need next is seeds. Wonderful. Sounds like there's a lot in here. Oh boy, there sure are. Man, if I didn't know any better, it would look like somebody cut 2 peppers yesterday and then dried out these seeds on the counter. That would be so silly though. If you're really gonna commit to the bit, you should have bought seeds yourself, like eggplant's always funny. Or you could have, bought carrot seeds and said you were trying to plant the perfect man, and that's a snowman because he's cold like all men, but quiet. Anyway, we have these seeds. Let's plant them. All right, I think we are nearly done, but I mean, you novice gardeners out there, you, like me, know that the next thing that you're gonna need is water. Water. Now, you might be tempted to call water dihydrogen monoxide. But don't do that. Do you really want to remind people of 8th grade when your teacher gave you that little essay article thing that made you get real scared about dihydrogen monoxide and made you think about all the people who died from it and whatnot and how whatever, and it was a whole joke. It was just a big joke. They're using big words to make you be scared of something that's this life-sustaining thing. And if you call water dihydrogen monoxide, you might remind somebody of that. And then, I mean, God forbid you and that person go estranged at some point. I mean, you're not going to know for sure if it was because you thought it would be funny to say dihydrogen monoxide one time, but you're also not going to know if it wasn't because of that. It's sort of dihydrogen monoxide. It's sort of, Schrodinger's relationship ruiner. Let's water our plant. Alrighty, well, we've watered some seeds in dirt in a pot, and all we need to do is add sun, which we can at this hour, and then we'll have a vegetable plant. It's as easy as that. Don't forget, everybody, to ignore your feelings, and remember, with Liz, you can always count on celebrating.
Remember, friends, ignore your feelings. My good friend Liz said that. Liz, thank you. Thank you for being enthusiastic and for potting a plant live on the Instagram or the internet. I don't know if that's ever happened before. Maybe we're the first. I want to now throw you to a commercial for something very exciting and important that is coming up right here at Open Stage. Join us for An Iliad, starring my dear friend Tom Weaver and Joe Osborne. That show will be brought to you on May 28th, June 5th, and June 13th. Buy tickets now. You will be happy that you did. Let's go to another commercial for a thing that we're about to do, another thing that's going to make you real happy.
Coast to coast, they love The View. The New York Times calls it a fresh perspective. It's got plenty of energy and sass, says The Hollywood Reporter. And from TV Guide, cheers to a promising newcomer on the daytime scene.
Hi, I'm Stuart Landon, producing artistic director at Open Stage, and I am really excited about a new show that I'm working on with my friends. You've heard about The View, and I've always been somewhat of a fan of that lovely show. And I've gathered a couple of my fabulous gay friends. We're going to talk about all these things that are gay and fabulous and fun. So we're going to have a lot to chat about, a lot of hot topics, and a lot of special guests. Me, Matt, Dave, the obstructed view right here on Open Stage's channels, Facebook, YouTube. It's gonna be great.
Well, that's going to be fabulous and gay, and it's going to start on June 4th. And I will tell you right now, all of those people are amazing. It's going to be so much fun. But now I have to share with you, we are about to embark on something that Open Stage has never tried before.
For good reason.
For good reason, a live online game show called The Natch Game. Who stops first, me or you? Okay, so it's the Natch Game. It's a satirical homage to the 70s game show, a match game that nobody's ever done before. We're the first and only people to ever rip off the match game. So we asked earlier on the show for 2 contestants, and they not only jumped right on, but had been waiting on the sort of live stream since the beginning of the show. So they might be completely drunk now. I would almost imagine that one of them has grown a mustache. Let's welcome our guests, or our contestants anyway. Who are our contestants, Rachel?
We have Bradley Barkdahl and TJ Creedon.
Bradley Barkdahl and TJ Creedon. Wow. Where's TJ? TJ, you're so dark. No, that's wrong.
Not me.
There he is. Oh, there you are. Look at you guys.
He
really did it. Here.
I could get a haircut, so I'm doing the best that I can.
It's the quarantine. You got to do what you got to do. You guys have been literally waiting for like what seems like maybe 15 hours.
I would wager to say even more.
Yeah,
I agree.
That way.
I feel that. Okay, well, here's the deal, Brad and TJ. I'm going to go ahead and introduce our celebrity panelists. We're going to bring everybody up on stage, and then I'll talk about the rules. Are you guys okay with that?
Yes.
Okay.
Do it.
Okay, so I would like to invite my first celebrity panelist for the Natch Game, which is my therapist friend, Patrick Hughes. Patrick Hughes, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello, Gibby.
Hey, Patrick. How you doing?
Hello. Good luck, guys.
Oh, very good. Yes, good luck to everyone. I would also like to welcome to the Natch Game, Liz Curtis, my enthusiastic friend. Liz Curtis. Liz? There she is.
Hey.
Hey, Liz.
Hi.
Stand up at it. Oh, it's getting real zoomy in here now. There's so many of us. And let us not forget, and as if you could forget, the incredible, the inimitable, the only one, STACEY Werner. Ladies and gentlemen, there she is.
I've never met and definitely aren't my best friends.
Never met any of these contestants. That would be cheating. Of course, none of us have ever met each other. And let me explain the rules to the Natch Game. The Natch Game is a satirical homage or ripoff of the 1970s game show, The Match Game. But it's satirical, which should release us of any sort of obligations, fiduciarily.
Yeah.
And it's an homage because we enjoy it. And it was easy, so we did it quickly. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to read a joke to you guys, to all of you. But I'm going to leave out the punchline, okay? And it's going to be up to you, contestants and panelists, to fill in that punchline. And then panelists, I'm going to go to you. I'm sorry, guests, contestants, Brad and TJ. It's going very well. Thank you, Rachel. I'm going to go to you first. Find out what you chose for the punchline, and then we'll go to our celebrity panelists. And if they matched with your punchline, you get a point. Every time you match, you get a point, and the person with the most points wins. I mean, that's just nature, right? That's just the way things go. Does everybody understand that?
I think so.
Does anybody have any questions?
Not yet.
Circle gets the square.
Okay, that's right. Oh, very good. So we're going to start with round one, and we'll get to final match round later. Stop asking about it. We'll get there. We're going to start with round one. Everybody should write their answers down on a piece of paper. It would be great if you had a Sharpie. Good. Here we go. Round one. Last weekend, I stayed at the worst hotel. Instead of chocolates on the pillow, they left blank. Last weekend, I stayed at the worst hotel. Instead of chocolates on the pillow, they left blank. Are we good? Let's cut that off. Enough of that. Stop that music. So loud. Why is it so loud? Okay. Contestants, does everybody have a chance to answer the question? Good.
Yeah.
Yep.
So first off, we'll go with Brad. Brad, last weekend I stayed at the worst hotel. And instead of chocolates on the pillow, they left blank. And what did you put, Brad?
So when I walked in, I found a bottle of roach/bug spray on the pillow.
Ooh. So Brad says, last weekend I stayed at the worst hotel. Instead of chocolates on the pillow, they left roach spray. Terrible. Terrifying. All right, let's go to TJ. TJ, last weekend I stayed at the worst hotel. Instead of the chocolates on the pillow, they left blank. What did you put?
Rat droppings.
Last weekend I stayed at the worst hotel. Instead of chocolates on the pillow, they left rat droppings. Okay, so now we're going to see if any of the celebrity panelists happen to have the same answers as you guys. I think it's probably going to happen. Let's see. Let's go to our celebrity panelists now, starting with Patrick. Patrick Hughes, what did you have for your answer? Last weekend I stayed at the worst hotel. Instead of chocolates on the pillow, they left blank.
It's pretty crunchy, but I said cockroaches.
Ooh, cockroaches. No matches, right, Rich?
No.
No matches so far.
Not the spray. Not the spray. The actual cockroaches themselves.
So close. So close. But almost antithetical. We're going to go to our next panelist, which is Liz Curtis. Liz, last weekend I stayed at the worst hotel. Instead of chocolates on the pillow, they left blank.
I was close, but I did write used rubbers.
Used rubbers.
I wanted to write rubbers.
Would be terrible when you expect a chocolate on your pillow. Not just a rubber, but a used rubber. Not a match, but disturbing nonetheless. Let's go to our last celebrity contestant, Stacey Werner. Last weekend, I stayed at the worst hotel. Instead of chocolates on the pillow, they left blank.
The contents of a used rubber. Spooge.
So no points for either of our guests there, but that's okay. That's all right. We got another round to go. We're going to do a second round. Contestants, are you disheartened?
No, it's fine.
Yeah?
I like playing this game.
Okay. Brad?
I wish I would have known the vulgarity scale, so I guess now we have a bar set.
Well, it was PG-13 when we started. We thought this was going to be an hour-long show, and now it's 9:30. So whatever you want to do. Okay, so here comes round two, second question. The points right now are tied at 0-0. Round two. The joke is Chip the dentist. Do you get that? Dave Richwine wrote
That's hilarious.
His name is Chip, and he's a dentist. Chip the dentist had a terrible memory. It got so bad, with every new patient, he had to set an alarm to remind them to blank. I'm going to repeat that. Chip the dentist had a terrible memory. It got so bad.
What?
Your patient. I don't think the guests can hear us. I think the music might be just a little too loud. Not overtly loud. Not obnoxiously loud.
Do you want to trade places?
No. Certainly not. Let me just, because this is a tough one. This is a Dave Richwine original. Let me read this without the music, and then also maybe we'll turn the music down a little bit. Okay. Chip the dentist had a terrible memory. It got so bad with every new patient he had to set an alarm to remind him to blank. Okay, does everybody have this? Okay, cut the music. Everybody got their answers?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. We're going to go to our contestants first. We're going to start with TJ. TJ, Chip the dentist had a terrible memory. It got so bad every new patient he had to set an alarm to remind him to blank.
Spit.
Yes, spit is a good answer.
No right answer.
I mean, rat droppings.
I think spit rat droppings is the best answer. Now we're going to go to Brad. I'm not saying that TJ's is the best answer, but it was a good answer. Okay. Brad Barkdahl, Chip the dentist had a terrible memory. It got so bad with every new patient he had to set an alarm to remind him to blank.
Okay, so I understood the question wrong. I thought to remind himself as he's working. So I said to use the Novocaine on his patients.
I don't know that that's wrong. It was ambiguously written. That's the fault of the writer. We're going to go ahead and blame Dave Richwine for that. It's not your fault. I wrestled with it myself. I changed it back and forth. Should I correct him? It was ambiguous intentionally.
Who knows?
No. There was malice aforethought. Okay. So we're going to go to our panelists now, starting with Stacey Werner. Stacey Werner, Chip the dentist had a terrible memory. It got so bad with every new patient he had to set an alarm to remind him to blank. We've got a match. Spit. That's a match with TJ. That does not surprise me. You two were is it with TJ? Yay. Yes. You two were separated at birth. Okay. That's good.
We knew that.
That's good. Now we're going to go to our next panelist, Patrick Hughes. Patrick Hughes, Chip the dentist had a terrible memory. It got so bad with every new patient he had to set an alarm to remind him to blank.
To look at their teeth.
Oh, look at their teeth.
Pretty bad memory, yes.
It's a bad memory and an outlier of a response, but good and funny nonetheless. Last panelist to come up is Liz Curtis.
No whammies, no whammies, no whammies, no whammies.
Liz Curtis. Chip the dentist had a terrible memory. It got so bad with every new patient he had to set an alarm to remind him to blank. Liz, can you hear us?
Yeah. I could totally hear you fine.
Maybe you might want to give us an answer. Bill.
Bill for their
Oh, high-minded, top-level comedy, very intelligent, probably overestimating our audience, but very good. And thank you, Liz. That was great. But it looks like we have a winner. We have a clear and decisive winner.
Oh, yes. The winner is TJ.
TJ with 1 point. Sorry, Brad. Brad, just hang out. Don't leave. Brad, don't leave. Don't log off the internet. Just hang on. Okay, TJ, you are clearly the winner. And so what I need you to do for the final round is choose the panelist that you think you have the most simpatico with, the sort of intellectual or spiritual connection in the brain that you can win this with. You got to pick that one panelist and send the other two crying home.
Well, as I do only have 1 point, and that 1 point came from Stacey. I'm gonna go with Stacey.
Well, that's fair. There's no winners or losers here,
Except Brad. Brad is the loser.
Except for Brad and Liz.
It is
Okay, so here we go now with the final round, the match round, the final round is what we call it. We call it the final round on the Natch game, and we call it Natch because naturally the rip off of the match game.
I feel like this isn't going to go well, but
no, it's going to go great. It's going to go great. All this is a simple one. It's so easy. All you have to do is choose the same exact word out of all of the words available to us in our English language.
What are there?
We just have to both write down the same word.
That's it.
Without any prompt. Yeah.
Well, I am going to give you a prompt. No, I am going to give you a prompt, and the prompt is this. Are you ready?
Yes.
Yes.
The prompt is blank day.
What?
Blank day. You fill in blank. Substitute the word blank with your answer, and the second half of it is day. Blank day. Blank day. Maybe some music would help you think.
I don't think it would.
Huh?
No.
What do you have? Oh yeah, that's pass for pass. There's no tie. Okay, cut the music.
Wait, they're not done yet.
Well, maybe they are. It's pretty easy. Are you done? Are you done?
Sure.
Yep. Blank day. Blank day. All right. First, we're going to go to TJ. TJ, what did you have as your answer for blank day?
I said birthday.
Okay. It's a very logical and easy choice. Could be completely irrelevant, except Stacey said.
Hold on. It was really bright in there.
Yeah. So
hold on. Take my beauty light off. I wrote show day.
Oh, it was so close. It was so
show day.
Close. Show day. She's not gonna. No, you don't have to worry about it. It was a very, very difficult clue. Dave Richwine wrote this clue. Not only did he rip off another game.
Oh, sorry.
But then he chose the most difficult possible. I mean, rat droppings day would have made more sense. Spit day.
Yeah, these two are highly
Spit day would have been
put
great.
together too.
Food day.
I mean, spit day.
Tuesday, Wednesday. I mean, there's almost 7 of them that you can think of right off the bat. Anyway, Dave Richwine, thanks for ripping off the match game, and
thank you, Dave.
Thank you for playing. Stacey, thank you for playing. Brad, Patrick, and Liz.
It was so nice to meet you guys. Thank you so much for participating in this game show.
Liz.
No. I have good news. The good news is that both of our contestants will win digital tickets to see an Iliad right here on the internet on Open Stage. We're going to give you those tickets. Yeah.
Show day.
Okay.
Show day.
Doesn't really seem fair that Brad gets them too, but it's okay.
Nice competition.
If there was a winner, I would have given you a T-shirt, but nobody won. There was no winners in this game.
This is turning out really well. This is fine. This is great.
I beat Brad, and that's what matters.
Yeah. Nobody won. Okay, so
except the audience.
We're going to say, well, the audience will leave that to decide for themselves. We are going to go back one last time to my dear friends in Brooklyn, Isabella and her dinosaur.
Dump truck.
Hey, dump truck, what's in your truck? I bet you could guess with a little love luck. What do you think is inside the truck? I can help out if you're feeling stuck. Dirt, that's dirt. Dirty dirt, that's dirt. Dirt, that's dirt. Dirty dirt, that's dirt. Hey, Mr. Dump Truck, what's in your truck? I bet you could guess with a little of luck. What do you think is inside the truck? I can help out if you're feeling stuck. Snow, that's snow. What do you know? That's snow. That's snow. That's snow. What do you know? That's snow. Hey, Mr. Dump Truck, what's in your truck? I bet you could guess with a little of luck. What do you think is inside the truck? I can help out if you're feeling stuck. Beach balls. Those are beach balls. Beach balls. Beach balls, baby. Beach balls. Those are beach balls.
Oh my God, that's rich. Well, I will say that if there was a contest, the contest is over. Isabella and her dinosaur have created a far more successful variety show than us, and we love you. We send you our thanks, Isabella and her dinosaur, here in Harrisburg. We're just thrilled to have you on our show, and just so weird, so cool. If you like what you saw, please tip them on their Venmo at Zachmuhn, ZACHMUHN, or check them out on their Instagram at Isabella and her dinosaur. Well, folks, this last thing I want to do is talk to some more sponsors. Of course, I want to talk about the Schubert Foundation, the foundation for enhancing communities in the Pennsylvania Council on the Arts, but I also want to talk to Dauphin County in general. And I want to give a shout out to the fantastic company, Capital Blue Cross, whose support we are happily celebrating with the renaming of the Capital Blue Cross main stage. Thank you, Capital Blue Cross, for sponsoring our main stage at 25 North Court Street. We cannot wait to reopen that facility and bring you, our audience, in there and have some drinks and fun with us. A big thank you, and maybe the biggest thank you, to the board of directors for Open Stage, because as a not-for-profit organization, there's only 5 staff members, and gosh knows we are working all the time to keep this organization alive, and we could not do it without our incredible board of directors. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Folks, I also want to give a shout out to a couple of other theater companies in this town, Gamut Theater Company and Theater Harrisburg in specific. These are our friends. These are not people who are in competition with us in Harrisburg. They are our colleagues and collaborators, and we hope that they will open their doors soon and be able to bring patrons into their building. And as soon as it's safe, I'm sure they will. We love them all. We love all of the friends that joined us today. Gosh, it was just what a beautiful, beautiful experience. Thank you, Patrick Hughes. Thank you, my friend.
It's my pleasure, Gibby. Great to see you.
It's great to see you. Thank you, Liz Curtis. Yay! Thank you, Liz. Thank you, Isabella and her dinosaur. If you guys are still there, yeah, there you are. Oh my goodness.
Oh, there we are.
Hey, are we on?
Is that
That's
us?
you. That's you.
Right, no, there we are. We're right there. But are we?
Am I closer than
anything?
you? Or are you?
Let's mute them.
over.
Let's mute them. That's great. They're great. We love you, and we're going to mute you. Thank you so much. I love you so much. Let's also bring on Nick and Stacey Werner, two of my other dearest friends. Oh my God, it's so classy. Hey, Nick and Stacey. Well, Rachel's got you muted, but she shouldn't have to. Hey, how you guys doing?
Oh, you caught me in my lounging fur. That's so embarrassing.
That's okay. I want you to, Rach, mute them all. Mute them all. Just put their beautiful faces on the screen, because I'm going to say one last thing to you, my internet audience. I'm going to sign off with this. Be you. Be yourself. Do what you love. And you will change the world. We love you here at Open Stage, and we want to see you here next Tuesday at 8 p.m. because we're going to have a whole nother crazy show for you then. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. And I'm going to let Nick and Stacey take us out.
Is this thing on? It is. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I hope you had a great time. Give it up for Gibby, the one and only. And with that, I'd like to leave you with a little ditty that we wrote yesterday. Our talented friends, they're very talented. Have a good night. Bye.